The lid on your drink popped off.
Probably because you were messing around.
I'm taxing it. I bought you the drink. Excuse me, madam. So we just got out seeing Jurassic World. It's not Jurassic World Evolution, it's the game.
I have no idea
Jurassic
what the movie
World.
was called.
Oh my god, do we actually don't remember
I don't know any of the characters' names or the name.
There's Scarlett
of the movie.
Johansson. There's black guy. There's other black guy. There's Mexican family. Okay, hold on. Pull your phone out. What's the name of the movie you just saw? Oh my god!
That's how you know the movie's bad, guys. I think it's Rebirth. If I had to guess.
Jurassic World.
Rebirth.
Rebirth?
Rebirth.
What in the fuck is that name? Okay, so listen. Maybe a year or two ago, on our community Discord, we streamed all of the Jurassic Park movies.
You're welcome.
On the Discord with the viewers, with the fans, and so we saw Jurassic Park, the first one, which is a great movie. Jurassic Park 2, which is not so good.
See, I love the original trilogy, so I'm biased.
And then everything after the second movie is just utter dog shit.
The third one was good.
I don't even remember it.
Neither do I, but it was good.
Okay. So the first one, by the way, was based off of a novel, and it's a great movie. And it has, like, good characters, good pacing. Like, they build up the dinosaurs till the first half of the movie, and then they have the payoff where, like, the guy stumbles over and he finally he's like, oh, they do move in herds. Like, that's a legendary movie scene. And I think, like, the Jurassic Park series, Jurassic World now, they have basically been riding the high of that scene for like 10 movies now, and none of them have ever come close to it because you can't. Like it's like
they tried really hard in this one though.
They tried, yeah.
They tried really hard, and it was just you know what? They lingered on it too long.
Maybe so, yeah.
I was watching it and I was just like, this moment is too long. Yes, you've done this camera angle 5 fucking times.
Yeah. Of like they're like brachiosauruses, but they have like a big snake tail whipping around.
Aren't they called like Titanosauruses or something?
Whatever. They're just making shit up now. It was like kind of believable the first time around. Now it's all just bullshit. Okay, so what I recall is that there was the Jurassic Park reboot where you had
that started with Jurassic World.
Yes, and you had for the first 2 of those movies, you had, who the fuck was it? Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a raptor guy.
Yeah, being a raptor guy. And like,
and that was fine.
They weren't great, but they were okay.
But like, yeah, the taming of the raptors things was kind of cool.
Like he had like the kinship with the blue raptor, who was like his pal a little bit.
No.
Like there was an arc going on with those 2 movies, and there was some stupid shit in those movies too.
Yeah, no.
But there was like the genetically engineered daughter or whatever the fuck,
That
and
was
that
weird.
it was such a
Dominion was bad.
terrible. So in this one, they rebooted again. Okay,
It's been 35 years.
They reboot. No, it's been 35 years since the first movie. Not since.
No, it's been 35 years since Dominion.
Maybe.
In canon. That's what all the fucking text on the screen, which by the way I hate.
Yeah,
all the text on the screen.
I'm pretty sure the text on the screen said it's been 32 years since dinosaurs came back, which would have been Jurassic Park 1.
I think they. Okay, you know what? We'll agree to disagree on this because
Sure.
I'm very certain that they meant like back out into the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was since they've been revived by the corporation in the first movie.
Yeah, we'll agree to disagree because it could be either or.
Okay.
Just based on the wording.
So you're thinking maybe like this they've now done like a 35-year time skip from Dominion,
Yeah.
and now it's in the future. It's like the 2060s or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's possible. The view that I have is that it's been a few years after Dominion, and it's been 35 years since the first movie. But you know what? Who knows? It doesn't matter, because the lore doesn't matter in this bullshit
No,
series.
it does not.
So, despite the Chris Pratt thing like being not great but okay, they abandoned his plot line. They abandoned all the shit they were doing in that movie, and they reboot again with a new cast. And this time around, it's a standalone story where you have
the dinosaurs are dying out everywhere in the world. except for
The equator.
the equator and the typical islands that we have always seen.
Yeah. In fact, they actually show like Cuba is not a country anymore. Do you see that on the map?
No.
Like it had Cuba, and like it's just covered in dinosaurs. It's not like a country now. It's just like a dinosaur habitat, because dinosaurs can only survive in the narrow band of the around the equator.
Yeah.
So there's evil corporation guy who I forget.
Pharmacy. He wanted to make money to have cardiac drugs, heart drugs that would basically cure heart disease. Yep.
Which is so stupid.
Yeah, this was honestly, like, this was the weirdest premise
Yeah.
for the movie to base itself on. I'm like, why specifically a heart drug? Like,
because dinosaurs have big hearts.
yeah.
And that apparently means that they live for over 100 years. They want to get DNA from dinosaurs that are still alive. They want one underwater one, they want one land one, they want one flying one.
Yeah.
And so they're getting DNA. So this guy's this pharmaceutical CEO is going around. For some reason, he goes with them to the island.
Yeah, that was
so stupid.
But also I'd like to point out that the dinosaurs that they needed the DNA from had to be literally the biggest ones of each type.
Yep. It's pretty contrived plot.
The biggest water one, the biggest land one, and which is not a T-Rex, and the biggest flying one.
Yes. What ends up happening is this pharmaceutical guy goes around to assemble his crack team.
It feels like a heist movie for the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's bad.
And he finds Scarlett Johansson, who's like this illegal kind of smuggler.
She's a mercenary.
Mercenary, yeah.
They say it in the movie. She's pretty much just a mercenary. It's fine.
Yep. She does like... She said she does like extractions, which is when you go in to get somebody to get them out of a place, dangerous place. Yeah, so he finds her, offers her $10 million to get this DNA.
Yep.
And then they go to a museum, and this is when we discover that like in this universe, nobody gives a shit about dinosaurs anymore because they've been overplayed,
no, they
overused.
said that in the text too.
That too.
They said it in the text too. They gave away the entire just all the lore in text instead of showing it in the movie.
Yeah.
Instead we just had talking for I don't even know how long.
Here's the thing, like,
it was bad talking.
You could have taken out that text and we still would have gotten the point that no one cares about dinosaurs anymore because of the arc of the researcher.
Yep.
Because he says like, yeah, we had 5 people come to our museum yesterday.
Yep.
Like, we're making no money on this.
Yep.
I'm like, my career's fucked. All the dinosaurs are dying out. Nobody cares about these animals anymore. Like, they're not the big hit they were back in the 1980s. Like, just so like he's looking for a new career path, and this guy's like, listen, $10 million. You come to the island, we get us like, because he said he's gonna make trillions of dollars in this drug. He doesn't care about giving away $10 million. He's like, whatever, $10 million, yeah. And then they get to some island in the Caribbean where they're getting the rest of the crew.
Yep.
And then you have in the crew you have Black Captain.
Yep. We don't know any of their names. I'm so sorry, guys.
Tomboy girl who like pilots the ship.
Yep. You have French black guy.
French black guy who's the chef.
He's like chef / okay, him and the tomboy girl kind of pilot together. So, but she like is lookout and like will do a couple other things, but he is the chef and generally the driver, and also was down in engineering for like a minute.
Like it's a fucking starship, like
yes.
we're in Star Trek engineering.
I don't remember the word I was looking for.
And then there was the soldier guy.
Yes.
And he, by the way, he was played by I think the guy who played Dario Naharis in Game of Thrones way back in the day. I think it was him. I think it was the same actor. But anyway, that's their crew. Soldier, extraction person, a couple ship people, and CEO comes along for the ride for...
He's not a CEO. He was just a dude sent out by the pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, but he was like high up in the... Like, he shouldn't have been on that fucking team. He had no skills.
Well, I think it felt like they were trying to do too many storylines in this movie because the movie honestly just felt like each group just felt like different movies.
Yes.
I think what they were trying to do personally was actually do a callback to the lawyer in Jurassic Park 1.
Okay.
Because like that's just kind of what it felt like. The greasy, slimy lawyer dude is like there, like, and he gets eaten really fast, but this guy doesn't. So that personally, it felt like a callback to the first movie, just having him there and like having them in these situations, kind of, sorta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So like there's a bunch of movies like this because I don't know if you watched Predator back in the day.
Watched it once.
Yeah, like this is kind of structured like Predator, where you have your crack team. They all have different skills, and they all get picked off one by one as they go through the story. Which, by the way, that happens also in other Jurassic Park movies. It's a pretty common thing where you like have a wilderness that is just like really dangerous.
It was literally the second movie.
And you have your team come in, and they all die off one by one, and then like there's only like a couple survivors.
Yeah.
Like, Resident Evil does that, for fuck's sake.
Also, I want to point out that I called literally every single death.
You did.
Of
It was
all
so
the
obvious.
characters.
It was so obvious.
Called every single one before they happened.
Except
No, we'll leave that to the end.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's so fucking stupid. Okay, so in the pre-roll of the movie, the preamble, it shows like there's another corporation on another island, fucking around with dinosaurs again.
They're trying to do mutants.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're like
Dinosaurs.
genetic splicing these dinos to be like even crazier dinos. And honestly, like it took away some of the interest for me that they weren't like real dinosaurs. I mean, they're not real. It's a fucking movie. But you know what I mean? Like it's not like they weren't like in the first movie, they took fossils that existed in real life and recreated those as they would have been to the best of our knowledge back then. This time they're just making shit up.
Yeah. It made it feel more like a monster movie than a Jurassic Park movie.
Yes.
Like,
to be fair though, there's always been like a component of monster movie-esque stuff in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, there is, but like Jurassic Park was good about towing the line of it. Is like, listen, these are real dinosaurs. These things used to exist, guys. Yeah. Like that's freaky. That's scary. But then monster movies are just like, oh, it could.
It's just random stuff. Ooh. Yeah. So
I do want to say though that in Jurassic World, the idea of doing the mutant dinosaurs was cool because they didn't just because that was like the very first time. It was like, oh shit, they're gonna fuck around with dinosaurs. That's insane.
And they kept doing it.
And then they did it more, and it's just like, okay, now it just feels
on this new island you have this new facility, and like someone drops like a fucking Mars bar wrapper into like a thing.
It was a Snickers wrapper, actually.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
Fucking product placement, dude. Okay, so the Snickers wrapper gets dropped into the thing, and then like it like gets sucked into like a vent, and it breaks containment.
Okay, guys, no, I just need to be very specific because we were like,
oh my god, it's so fucking warm in here.
10 minutes. You can't open
Oh god.
Okay, we were like 10 minutes into the fucking movie. It might not actually be 10 minutes, but like, so the Snickers bar wrapper gets sucked into a vacuum sealed door into a vent. It breaks the door, and then security is just breached, and the security system has to reboot, which means all the alive mutant dinosaurs.
Is this your dinosaur?
All the alive mutant dinosaurs just can get out of their containment areas.
And they do.
Because the doors just open because of one door fucking up.
Yep.
It made no fucking sense, and no one was watching the screen either. It was.
Oh yeah, the security screen is like, there's a problem, guys, and like no one's at the fucking station.
No, like it was so stupid.
It was really fucking
so stupid and so contrived because like, sure, security systems breaking one door should not fucking reset literally every single fucking other door.
Yep.
That was insane.
Agreed.
It was so stupid.
So they go back to the island
like 35 years later
to get these maybe that's what it is. Yeah. It's from that scene. Okay, you know what, fair enough. Okay. You know, I'll agree with you for preliminarily. Go back to the island, want to get their DNA samples. However, on the way there, there's the Aquasaur, or whatever the fuck, the big underwater one.
Oh, the Mosasaurus.
Yeah, so there's a family of 4 people who are like clearly some kind of Mexican or Central American, like some kind of like, you know, brown. I don't know what they are.
You made that sound really racist when you didn't have to.
Well, I don't know.
I'm just saying, just the way you said it made it sound racist.
And you have like concerned dad, and his whole thing is concern for his kids.
Yep.
And then you have like little girl, and her whole thing is, oh,
I'm a little girl.
I'm a little girl. The world's wondrous, and oh, aren't dinosaurs cute? And then you have like, yeah, I know.
And then you have like college-age teenager.
Yep, she's like 18 and she's going off to college. She's like, dude, see, I thought that was a death flag. She's like, I'm going to college next semester. It's going to be awesome.
See, no, I knew it wasn't going to be because I thought they were going to change it in this movie, to be honest. But Jurassic Park does not kill kids.
Well, she wasn't a kid. She was 18.
No, I know, but like it doesn't kill kids. Like
Yeah.
she like it's a dad going on a transatlantic trip with his 2 daughters, divorced dad with his 2 daughters. And so she is a kid, even though she's not. But she's a kid. So Jurassic Park doesn't kill kids. So I knew she wasn't gonna die. That's why.
And then also her
And then her fucking her
her
boyfriend.
useless kid.
Oh my god. You know what? Honestly, he was one of the best parts of the movie.
Okay, I recall whispering to you in the theater. I was like, hey, listen, you know what? I was like, hey, listen, I kind of like that stupid Zoomer has become a character archetype because he was just stupid Zoomer.
It was really funny.
He was dumb. He was lazy. He had the fucking broccoli haircut. He was like, there's no fucking reason for this chick to be with this guy. He's like completely useless. And like, he doesn't really have much of a redemption arc over the course of the movie. There's like one scene where the dad's like, thanks for diving into the water after her. And like, that's it.
Yep, that was his redemption arc.
And then he just fades into the background for the rest of the movie.
For the rest of the movie. Yep.
And that was like 1/3 of the way in.
Yep. Because this movie was trying to do too many fucking plot points.
Yep.
It was so strange.
So his family's in the boat. I forget exactly where they're sailing.
They're sailing across like transatlantic sail.
Why?
For fun.
Why would you do that in the equator when you know there's dinosaurs around? It's so fucking dumb. Okay.
They actually addressed that in the movie because the black captain actually was just like, what the fuck were you doing with a kid in the ocean? Like, what is wrong with you? And the dad was like, there's like thousands of boats out here. One happened to be attacked by this giant thing. This could have happened to literally anyone. They literally said it in the movie.
Well, then they shouldn't have gone out.
Yeah, no, I know. Especially on like a
Well, actually, I missed a scene. Remember? So here's what I'm okay. So we get to the theater, and it's fucking packed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this isn't even opening weekend. Like, it's fucking packed. And I'm like, okay, you know what we'll do? We'll just go because we're already almost late for the movie. We'll just go in and like when one of us has to go to the washroom, if we have to, we'll go and get snacks then. So like maybe like 20 minutes in or like 30 minutes in, I had to go to the washroom. So I went out and I would like I go out and I go to the washroom, but then I also go to the concession stand and it's like it's empty. There's a bug in here now. Oh, you got it? Oh, good job. So 1, it's like empty because everyone's in the theater now, and 2, it's like destroyed. Like there's no popcorn. There like one of the drink machines was broken.
Maybe that's why it was so slow.
There's no candy at all.
Oh
And I go up there and the guy's like, we have nothing, and I'm like, okay,
oh my god.
yeah, it's like we have nothing, and I'm like, well, oh, there's a ambulance going by. Probably someone getting into the movie. It fucking sucked that much.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so the guy's like, he's like, we have nothing, and I'm like, okay, well, he's like, listen, it's gonna be a little bit. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the washroom. Can you like get my stuff ready while I'm in the washroom? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. So I go to the washroom. I come back. And when I come back, I was only in there for maybe like a few minutes, but I come back and there's a giant lineup again. And I'm just like, what happened? Like, I guess like a new movie was about to start, right? So everyone was like getting in line for like another movie in the theater. It was one of those like 12 theaters, yes. You know, 12 rooms. So anyway, I get there and I'm like, okay. Now I already paid. So I go off to the side and there's like these parents with their kids. It must have been either Lilo and Stitch or How to Train Your Dragon. But basically there was, where's the light? There it is. Okay. So basically, I get there and there's all these fucking new parents with kids and they're lined up and they're like giving me a weird side eye because I'm like not getting in line, but I'm like up at the front anyway. And there's like some of them and they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, because they don't know that I already paid, right? And then there's a dude who's like, listen, the popcorn machine was completely empty. And so it's gonna take us like 5 minutes to pop new popcorn. And then he says that to the crowd. And then he immediately grabs the last bag of popcorn and brings it to me and gives it to me. And these parents are like staring daggers at me. And I'm just like, I'm just going to leave with my stuff.
That's how it goes.
Because I look like I just jumped the line.
Yep.
So I'm just like, they're like looking at me. I'm just like, I'm gonna go. But then I missed that scene where so basically the Watersaurus knocks over the family's boat and they get rescued by by the crew
by the mercenaries.
By the mercenaries.
Yes.
And I missed that part because I was getting.
So the mercenaries had a slightly heated argument about whether they should go or save the family or not. And it was just like, oh yes, so these are the characters that are evil and not morally good, and these are the characters that are good. You see who's going to live or die?
Yeah,
yes.
The soldier didn't want to save him, obviously.
Yep.
And I assume
the pharmacy guy didn't want to save him. The other two were kind of just didn't really care. Mm-hmm. They could have gone either way. And then Scarlett Johansson and Black Captain were both just like, we're gonna go save them. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, and they did, and they saved them.
Yep.
And so it
wasn't like a big scary save either. It's just like, okay, now they're on the boat, but we're still gonna go and get the DNA from the Mosasaurus.
Yep. So the family's in the boat, and the family's like, hey, can you just bring us back to shore? And they're like, no, we're going to the island. And they're like, what? Mm-hmm. So they go to the island. However,
after
on the way
the DNA.
On the way there, yes. So there's the scene where she does the sniper thing, because they have it set up so you have a sniper rifle and it fires a syringe, and then sucks the DNA out, and then it launches into the air out of the needle, and then parachutes to where it's supposed to go. And it's like, oh,
you know what? That was neat.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
So they get the DNA from the underwater saurus, and then, however, there's what were they called again? The spiny back ones. Yeah,
they were not Spinosauruses. They were something else whose name I can't remember.
But they had the same Ruffles chip spine.
They did, yes, but it's a different dinosaur.
Yeah, and they're swimming in the water, and it's like, okay, so you have these dinosaurs that can swim now, okay, and they start fucking destroying the boat and eating everyone.
Yes, because they were also helping the Mosasaurus hunt the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fucked up.
So. They're boating their way towards the island, and these things are chowing down on parts of the boat, and
I think only one guy. I think the soldier guy was the only one to die on the boat.
Yeah, the soldier guy's
immediately died.
Yeah, he's like, it's time for me to do my job, and he grabs the gun and he goes out onto the deck and starts shooting at them. He misses every fucking shot and he just gets eaten. It's like, you're a waste of fucking space on this thing.
He got two of them. He got two, and because he was using a paralyzing drug, they just drowned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was shooting them and he just got munched, and it's like, okay.
Yep.
Now at the same time, the daughter gets to the radio and is trying to call for help.
College age daughter.
Yeah. And the pharmacy CEO is like, no, you cannot, because you're not allowed to go to the island. It's illegal. So they're like, you cannot tell anyone that we're here. So they get into a fight over the radio, but then the dinosaurs attack, and the ship tips. And the pharmacy guy is like, I'm just gonna let you die.
Yep.
Which comes back to bite him later at the end of the movie, obviously.
Also, this is all happening, and the dinosaurs are attacking the ship, and the ship is racing towards shallow water and rocks so they can try and get away from these guys. So they do that. They do get to shallowish water and rocks, but people have jumped off board before this point, and somehow did not get eaten.
Yep.
They just fucking completely skipped over how the fuck they saved themselves from the fucking Spinoraptor whatevers chasing them.
They swam.
They didn't even get chased.
Yeah, I know. So there's they jump off a kilometer.
This movie is so bad.
A kilometer before the ship crashes onto the beach.
Yes.
And they still all manage to get to roughly the same place.
Yeah,
kinda.
they all manage to make, except for the guy who died on the boat, all managed to make it to shore. And then somebody else died.
Yeah, so tomboy chick gets munched by
one of the Spinoraptors.
On the beach.
Yes, that was also fucking stupid, because it's they're amphibious, we gotta get all the shit off the beach. 15 fucking minutes later, they finally get off the beach.
Yeah.
But also, none of the other dinosaurs still swimming in the water come up on the beach.
They just munch one chick, and then they just leave the rest of them alone.
They just leave. And they're still on the beach.
Yep.
The beginning of this movie is so fucking bad. You know what? It got better after, they all started exploring the island. But the beginning of the movie is so fucking god-awful that I would rate it a 0 out of fucking 0.
So the family all survives, the 4, even though I thought that the Zoomer kid was going to die. And they're split up. but they're in a different part of the jungle.
Yeah.
The little girl adopts like a little triceratops baby, I think.
It's some sort of half. It's some sort of mutant.
They're all mutants.
It's triceratops / something else, but I can't tell what.
Yeah. So they what ends up happening is like there's a few close calls, but they're basically just like following a
geothermal pipe.
A geothermal pipe to get to the research center on this island.
Mm-hmm.
And actually they're the only like there's a few like they cut back and forth between the two stories.
Yeah, the mercenaries and the family.
Yeah, but the family's stuff is mostly just kind of boring.
Well, no.
With the exception of the one scene with the raft. Mm. That was the only good scene in my opinion of the family side of the movie. So they have to cross a river. And so the college age chick swims across the river, gets to like a little abandoned dock, and then finds like the boat is fucked, but she finds an auto inflatable raft, like a big yellow raft. Yeah, escape raft. She starts looking that out, and there's a T-Rex there suddenly. And
sleeping.
And he's sleeping. It's the goofiest. Like,
he looked, honestly, it was adorable. Yeah. Until it woke up.
There's a sleeping T-Rex, and like they're making so much fucking noise as she's dragging this raft out, and it's like banging on things. And then she like hits the auto inflatable. It's like it's so loud.
And
it's
the
like,
T-Rex immediately woke up.
Yeah. But they get on the raft. Actually it's kind of like a whitewater rafting ride when they're going down because there's so much like.
But anyway, it was a pretty scary like T-Rex chase scene. That's what that entire thing was.
The T-Rex swam, and I was like, you know what? There's a lot of aquatic action in this movie compared to previous ones.
I think that's because they realized, like, scientists have realized that, like, dinosaurs could probably swim.
Yeah.
If a horse can swim, so can a dinosaur.
So the T-Rex actually swam under the water to, like, get ahead of the raft. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. And that's why I actually thought that this movie was gonna kill the little girl, because I thought she was gonna die. I actually did. I thought, like, it was gonna be the first...
They're too spineless to do that
No,
nowadays.
I know, but I thought it was gonna be the first Jurassic Park movie to actually kill, like, a main character kid.
Nope.
But no, she escapes with her life, which was fine.
Yeah. Probably the dumbest way they got away from that is, like, the river goes in between two rocks, and, like, the rocks are, like, maybe, like, 10 feet high. They're not very high. But the river goes between two rocks, and then they're on the other side. And then the T-Rex is like, I still want to eat you. And he, like, rams his head into the rock, and he's like, oh, that hurt. And he, like, left. Yeah. It's like, just go over it. It's literally 10 feet high. Like, it's the dumbest fucking...
It probably could have gone over it, but...
And then, like, the T-Rex is like, oh, and he, like, walks away.
It was actually a really cute animation, too, where it, like, shook its head in pain and then left. It was adorable.
Yeah. But then, like, you can see, like, everyone starts smiling, like, oh, we're safe. And, like, the music swells, and it's like, you guys aren't fucking safe. Yeah. It's right fucking... Like, what? It's so stupid, dude. It's so
stupid.
dumb.
Really stupid.
Okay, so... They have to go get the other two, the mercenaries have to get the other two pieces of DNA. Yeah. So they have a scene where they redo the, oh, dinosaurs are majestic. Yeah. Well, and the guy, like, touches it and he's like, oh. Yep. And then they get, like, that was just like a repeat of the... They
move in herds, except they use the same shot of the fucking dinosaurs like 5 fucking times.
And they
kept cutting back to Scarlett Johansson's face.
She's like, oh, it's amazing.
Like, oh, it's cool. Then they kept cutting back to the fucking nerd's face. Oh, it's cool. And they cut back to the fucking dinosaur. Like, it was the
two of them are like kissing, the two dinosaurs. They're like rubbing their heads.
Yes. It was obvious mating ritual. I mean, the spines were cool, but that was about it.
But, like, yeah, it was too much. It was too long.
Yeah, it was too long.
And also, I was not even connected to these characters. I didn't give a shit.
I did not. So they got that DNA, and then they went on to get the Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, so there's like a giant pterodactyl they wanted to get.
Yep.
And they're like, well, we need to get it from the eggs.
Because, you know, they fly. Yeah. And that would be kind of hard.
Yeah, so it turns out there's like an ancient Mayan temple on this island, like an Incan temple or something. I'm pretty sure neither of those civilizations were seafaring, really. But there's...
And also, I'm pretty sure that the island was, like... I think it was more French this time. It was, like, near New Guinea or something. I don't know. Is it the Guinness or something like that? The island?
Guinness is a beer.
Well, no, I don't remember the country name, but the island was called Saint Hubert, and it was weird. It was
a French island, yeah. Like, there was this, there was, like, an ancient... you know, Central American temple on there, and I'm like, this wouldn't be here. Even Scarlett Johansson's like, is this like an ancient temple? She just says it.
She just says it, and I was just like, oh.
And it's like, okay.
Yep.
So, but the pterodactyl thingy. Quetzalcoatl is okay. Fuck you. It's a different thing. Anyway,
it's named after.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't remember the name.
It's named after the summon in Final Fantasy called Quetzalcoatl.
Yep.
So, there's the clutch of eggs. They do a thing. They sneak in. The guy injects the thing into the egg, gets the stuff.
Carefully as to not harm the egg.
Yep. And then the mother shows up and is like, squawk! Because of course it is.
And then like gets eaten.
Yeah, the chef gets eaten this time.
Yes.
It's funny because like they had to like propel down on like ropes, and the guys at the top are like, "We're gonna save you, dude!" And they're like pulling him up, and they pull him up, and he's like gone. It's like, oh shit,
well,
he was eaten.
the best part about that, honestly, that was one of my more favorite deaths because like he's just like hanging out of the fucking Quetzalcoatl's mouth, and I'm just like, yes, yes. Well, it was a good death.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Half the fun of watching Jurassic Park is being like, oh, look how they died.
So. They have their 3 DNA samples, and now it's time to get the fuck out. So there's going to be a helicopter rendezvous at the old facility by sundown. Everyone gets there. It turns out they reunite with the family. The family is like, you tried to fucking kill the girl, and the guy like pulls out a gun from nowhere.
Yep.
He just had it the whole time.
Probably wouldn't work. There was a lot of aquatic action. Everyone got wet.
And he's like, we're all just gonna sit here and wait for the
helicopter, and you guys aren't gonna attack me, and I won't shoot you with this gun.
Yeah. And so they wait, and then the power turns back on for the facility because it just happens on a timer, I guess.
Yeah.
It's been turning back on every day for 35 years, I guess.
Yep. Hooray for reusable geothermal energy.
Yep. So everything turns on for the night, and like there's music playing, and like the gas station lights up, and there's like a bunch of like food in there and stuff, and all the fucking
all the very specific like scary mutant dinosaurs show up
because they're all attracted to light apparently.
Yes.
So they all show up, and there's like this extended half an hour action scene of running from dinosaurs and like shit, and like people fighting each other, and like so okay, go ahead.
This was the part that really felt like a monster movie instead of a Jurassic Park movie because they would like barely look like dinosaurs.
Yeah, they were just so fucking weird. So the CEO guy, the pharmaceutical guy, he grabs the samples, he gets into an abandoned Jeep,
and just runs.
And he just like fucking takes off into the jungle. It's like, where are you going? You don't even know where to go. Because there's a dock, and he gets to the dock, but he doesn't know that there's a dock because they find out after he leaves.
Yep.
He just drives into the fucking bush and just so happens to make it there.
Well, no, it was really funny is that he was very specifically going to the dock. Like, it's very obvious from the driving sequence. He was like, I'm fucking going this way.
But how would he know?
He didn't, because the movie like does not keep its logical continuity accurate at all.
Yep. So there's an extended like hide and chase with these like mutated pterodactyl things.
Yeah.
And
I think they were supposed to be like part raptor, part pterodactyl or something. I don't actually know because the movie didn't say.
Yeah. And then what is like the big one shows up?
D-Rex.
The D-Rex.
Yeah. They also
D-Rex.
did not say what it was like made of other than a T-Rex and other stuff.
It looks like a T-Rex, but it has like big muscle arms.
It has big muscle arms and little arms.
And a giant like fucking Cro-Magnon head.
Yeah, like the head looks bad.
It looks so stupid.
It doesn't look like a dinosaur. Like it looks like something from like Alien or Predator or something.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it doesn't look like a dinosaur at all.
But
this thing's giant.
Yeah, it's huge.
And it eats the helicopter.
The helicopter.
Okay, like that's the sort of thing that you see in one of those really bad asylum movies. Like Mega Shark versus the giant raptor or whatever the fuck it was. Like there's a scene in one of those movies where like a giant mutant shark jumps out of the sea and takes down a flying airplane going over the Pacific and just like it's that level of absurdity. But rather than being in an asylum film, it's in Jurassic fucking World.
Rebirth.
Where this thing just like eats the helicopter, just pulls it, and then pulls it out of the sky.
And then like the dock scene also just came out of fucking nowhere too, because they were just like, oh shit, there's docks, let's go there, since our only way out is gone.
Yep. Apparently there's also tunnels underneath the entire island that they've built.
Yeah, there were supposed to be like drainage systems or something.
Big enough to hold people? Of course there.
Yep.
And also there's like why would there be a gate that you have to go outside and press the button for? Like, none of it makes sense, but fine. It's all action bullshit.
Sure, that's fine.
So they get through by the nick of time, obviously.
And and then the D-Rex shows up, and it looks like everyone's gonna die. And then fucking pharmacy guy shows up in his very loud Jeep, and gets eaten.
He gets eaten.
he Deus Ex Machina the rest of the party.
Yeah, he shows up. He has the samples. He gets munched. I thought it was funny that like his arm was still holding onto the samples.
That's very good, yeah.
So they get the samples. They're trying to like launch the boat, and then Black Captain guy is like, "It's time for me to sacrifice myself because
I have a kid.
I have a dead child.
Yeah, I have a dead child, so I'm gonna sacrifice myself so I don't have other dead children on my conscience."
Yeah. So he like, because this thing is attracted to light, so he lights a flare, hops in the water, starts swimming around. He's like, "Come over here."
Yeah.
The D-Rex follows him, and
you know, it was actually a really emotional scene, and then they ruined it.
yeah, because like he's like trying to lead him away. He's running back into the bush holding the flare, and he's yelling at it, and it's yelling at him, and like it's a big fucking thing, and you know exactly what's gonna happen. And of course they cut away because he's the moral character. So like here in a movie that was actually gonna have the balls to kill him, they would still not show his death because they would cut away, because usually you save the gruesome deaths for the immoral people
or just characters you don't really know anything about.
Yes. Yeah. And the characters who are more moral, they get like the honorable deaths. So they cut away from him getting eaten. He yells in like defiant rage, and then that's the end of him. And so they hop into the boat and they go away, but he survived.
He survived somehow. We don't know how.
They never say.
The D-Rex was literally about to eat him. The D-Rex came fucking back from eating him, almost ate everyone on the boat, and then of course the boat got away. And then he somehow fucking lived. Yeah,
because as the boat was taking off into the ocean, another flare fires, and they're like, "He survived," and they go back and get him. And
it doesn't make, like, how did he survive?
It makes no sense.
Ha!
It makes no sense.
Oh yeah, so this is a terrible movie. I would actually not recommend watching it, or at least, listen, if you want to watch it to just see how far Jurassic Park has fallen,
yeah, I guess you can do that.
Then do that, so, don't pay for it.
The survivors were Scarlett Johansson, and then the scientist guy.
Yeah.
And
the whole family.
The whole family, all four of them, even useless Zoomer.
And then a Black Captain.
And then the Black Captain.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. I do feel like someone on the family side of the story should have probably died.
It should have been the boyfriend. The boyfriend should have died.
Yeah.
Or the little girl should have died. Or the dad should have died.
Yeah.
You know what? It would have been kind of interesting if the dad had died.
If the dad was the one to like sacrifice himself at the end to get him all out. Yeah.
Not like sacrifice himself at the end, but like
at some point.
Yeah, sacrifice himself specifically for like to save one of like
his
you know
kids.
what? Yeah. It would have. You know what? It would have been a good plot line. Him and like. Without maybe like have a better relationship with a boyfriend or something, but like have him, the college age girl, obviously have just like a bit of issues and tension, and that's why he wanted to go on this trip with them, but she's not really enjoying the trip too much because, you know, there's a lot of tension. Anyway, he sacrifices himself for her, and she's like, "I'm gonna save you. I love you. Just do whatever you want with your life. I'll always be proud of you," and then dies, and that would have been good.
And there could have been maybe like a slight passing of the torch scene between him and the boyfriend, and then from that point on the boyfriend like mans up and like supermans
up. Yeah, that would have been cool too.
That could have been a good story.
Yeah.
So many things they could have done.
But they didn't do any.
They didn't do any of them.
Anyway, yeah.
It's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie. Honestly, you could just literally skip pretty much. You could skip the entire first half of the movie until we get to the family on the boat. Just watch it from there.
Well, the family on the boat wasn't the first half of the movie. It was. The family on the boat was like 10 minutes in. No, there was a lot of talking. There was a lot of talking. You could just, you know what? You could just skip all the mercenary stuff, have the family on the boat, then have the family get saved by the mercenaries that we know literally nothing about, and the movie would have been the same. Think so?
Ow.
Yeah, it's actually really warm, that light bulb whenever we're doing this. Yeah, I guess. So yeah, that was it.
Yeah, don't watch it unless it's free.
should we have seen Lilo and Stitch instead?
No. Fucking Nani does not fucking abandon Lilo.
What about How to Train Your Dragon?
God, no more live action movies. No more live action movies of cartoons. I'm done. We're leaving. Goodbye.
Right. See you next time, guys.